The first step in creating your Twitter account is opening up your web browser. In this case, we're using Internet Explorer and going to www.twitter.com. Once you've arrived at twitter.com, look for the big green Get Started button. Signing up for Twitter is relatively simple. All you need to do is enter in the information in the required fields, and Twitter will check to see if it's okay or not. So as you can see, I've entered in my full name, and now it's time to choose a username. Choosing a username is important. Why is it important? Well, your username is what other people will use to send messages to. For example, if I'm tweeting from my cell phone and I want to send a message to you, I would have to use the @ symbol and then your username. If you choose a complicated username, one with symbols, numbers, or something that's hard to remember, your friends and followers on Twitter are going to be frustrated because they're going to have a hard time sending you messages. James here has decided to keep it simple. He just wants to try his first name and last name. Twitter will automatically check to see if that username is available. Alright, success! James Newby is available. So now we have our username decided upon. Next we'll move on to creating a password. Your password is used to log in to twitter.com and also for setting up applications on your desktop, your iPhone, or your BlackBerry. Try to pick a password that would be hard for someone else to guess, but easy for you to remember. Next, James will type in his email address. This way Twitter can contact him when people start to follow him or they send him direct messages. Next, type out the letters or words you see in the boxes below, and then click on Create My Account. On the next screen, Twitter wants you to check to see if your friends are already using Twitter. Since we're just getting started, we're going to skip this step. We can always find our friends later. Click on the link at the bottom to skip this step. On the next screen, Twitter is recommending some people it thinks you might like to follow. But because you're new to Twitter, I'd recommend that we skip this step for now. We can always find these people later on. Congratulations! You've just created your new Twitter account. And now here we are at our Twitter homepage. As you can see, the most obvious box on this page is the question asking, what are you doing? This is where you'll begin tweeting. But before we do that, let's go into our settings page and look over some of the options.